Thank you so much. And today we gathered in Washington, New York, and welcome to Diaspora UA. We are running 19th rally in support of singular mission to rally for unblocking the Lend-Lease program for Ukraine. This is a United States law which allows to get Ukraine all necessary weapons which was already produced and stored without spending extra money for the United States, and also we can save a lot of lives in Ukraine. And we know that United States has a lot of weapons in storages in California, 26,000 armored vehicles, and they are not used. If President Biden and administration would make decision to use it, it would stop the war, because war will be over very soon. Ukraine would win the war and close the border, and it would save a lot of lives. Ukraine and United States wouldn't need to spend extra money every couple of months. President Biden asking for a couple of billions of dollars. So this is our 19th rally in attempt to unblock Lend-Lease, and we have Washington. Yuri?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. We've been here for almost 8 months, and we have the same message to spread. We need to unlock the Lend-Lease. That's the law which was passed. It was signed into law, but it was never enacted. It was never working. Why? Because many people are not willing to have this law enacted. Why? Because there is always a corruption. There is always a big guy that needs to be paid. There's always a big guy that wants to share everything. What's Lend-Lease? It's sending the weapons already produced and facing the sun in the United States. We can ship it tomorrow. We can ship it today to Ukraine. Ukraine needs sufficient weapons to win. It's not been a secret that Ukraine hasn't gotten everything they need to win. We've been supplying Ukraine, the United States has been supplying Ukraine insufficient supply of weapons, meaning insufficient weaponry. We've been promising, we've been committing to provide sufficient weapons, but we had not been delivering the sufficient weapon supply. So all of this, all our protests have only one thing in common, have only one thing, have only one agenda: supplying sufficient weapons to Ukraine now. And the only way to do so through the Lend-Lease, not sending additional money, not directing some additional supplemental bills and adding to the United States national debt, or facing the debt ceiling, but just sending whatever is facing the sun currently in California. We have thousands of armored vehicles facing the sun, brooding, facing the sun. We can ship it to Ukraine. Ukraine needs it badly. We have people dying every single day by thousands. Thousands of Ukrainians are dying because of insufficient weapon supply. All we can do is just do as the law says, and activating the Lend-Lease, shipping Ukrainians everything they need to protect civilians, because we have civilians which are dying every single passing day. We have pregnant women dying. We have elderly couples dying. We need to stop this. In order to stop this, we need to supply Ukraine with sufficient weapons. So this is it. This is why we've been here. This is why we've been gathering for the past 8 months. I honestly, I have no words to express the amount of anger I have inside of me, because we have the big guy next to us sitting in the White House, and his reluctance into providing sufficient weapons, his reluctance into helping Ukraine to win. I believe that he's actually helping Russia. I'm wholeheartedly believe that whatever he's been doing is benefiting Russia, is helping President Putin succeed. He has been claiming a lot. He has been giving these huge messages, these huge press conferences where he has been saying that he stands strong with Ukraine, that we're going to help Ukraine no matter what till it wins. But he's not been doing anything. He's been slow. He's been unresponsive, and he has been reluctant into providing sufficient weapons. The big guy, maybe he wants to get paid. Maybe that's why he needs additional money supply, additional supplemental bills to help Ukraine. because he wants to get paid. Perhaps, I don't know, but this is what I think. This is what the Congress had been finding recently. Congress had been fighting to get additional banking records from Hunter Biden, from Joe Biden, and they've been reluctant. They've been reluctant to show what's going on. And we have Russian oligarchs. We have Kazakh oligarchs. We have Ukrainian oligarchs with Russian networks supplying money to the Biden clan. Maybe that's why he doesn't want the Lend-Lease to work. And by the way, for those of you who are watching, the Lend-Lease law was written by a Republican senator from Texas, and it was the law written, initiated, and it passed the Senate by majority decision, by 100% of senators, both Republicans and Democrats, to help Ukraine to win, to crash Russia. Well, it's not working. Why? Because the big guy doesn't want it. The big guy means President Biden doesn't want it. So I don't know anything else I have to say, because it's hard for me to pick the right words, because I'm angered. I feel this anger inside of me, and I don't know what to do with it. So if you may you can just tweet, send a little tweet using Twitter, unlock the Lend-Lease. Unlock the Lend-Lease. Initiate the Lend-Lease. You can send the tweet directly to POTUS, the President Biden, and this way you can help us. Or you can join our meetings, our protests. We have bi-monthly, every 2 weeks by the White House. The next one is coming up on September the 3rd, and you are welcome to join us, and we'll appreciate you for joining us. But besides that, this is it. We ought to help Ukrainians to win. Why? Because many people asking, why should we care about Ukraine? Ukraine is a country in Europe. We have Germany. We have many other nations. They should do something about it. France. Well, if Ukraine loses the war, it'll spread. Putin won't stop. He will invade Poland. He'll invade Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And because of the NATO agreements the United States signed, they will have to send the troops to fight for these European countries. And only if Ukraine wins, will succeed. I mean, we'll make sure that we won't have the need to send the soldiers, our troops, to fight in Ukraine. So if Ukraine wins, it will send a strong message for all of the bullies, for all of those dictators around the globe, that it's not right to invade your neighbor if you feel that you want to have more land, or you want to reshape your territory. It's not the right way to go. So only Lend-Lease can help Ukraine to succeed their win, and we ought to help Ukraine to win. So I don't know what else to say. Mr. Bogdan?
Yes, and just today we see on Telegraph there was an article that China helping to arm Russia with helicopters, drones, and metals, everything. And Ukraine is actually getting fraction from those billions. We have a report from Institute of Security, was the national security, we're going to put the article, that Ukraine only getting 30%, a fraction of those big billions that President Biden announced. And in the meanwhile, Russia got from China 3 times more supply than in the beginning of the year, including helicopters, drones, everything. So is there any chance Ukraine can win this war unless it will get the weapons? Ukraine actually military, they saying us they don't need all these billions because they're not getting whatever they need. They need they need weapons, and they can use weapons that already was made. And just in California, we see 26 armored vehicles stand ready. So it's basically President Biden not using all these vehicles. Some of them are even obsolete and it's not good for American army, but it will be wasted. And if we give just fraction of these storages of this armored vehicle, the war will be over. and there will be no problem with budget, inflation, and everything else. So President Biden actually just fooling Americans also, same as Ukrainians, that we don't have weapons, we have short of tanks, 5,000 Abrams already standing ready, and 26,000 all kind of different armored vehicle. What's your reaction, Yuri?
I mean, just imagine this. We have so much weapons stored, produced, manufactured, paid for. What's the main thing? It was paid for. And it's facing the sun somewhere in California, rooting. It's actually waiting to be destroyed. Why? Because it's some previous generation weapons. Well, Ukraine would be happy to get it now, and they need it now. And we are witnessing the genocide, Ukrainian genocide, and we are not doing enough. We're not doing even closely enough. We're doing perhaps 1% or what we can or what we could do. And I believe that it's our mission. It's as Americans, I believe that this is what we should do: help Ukraine to win. Why? Again, why? Well, we took away Ukraine's nukes. Ukraine was the third largest nuclear power in the world. Ukraine possessed so much weapons that they could have destroyed the United States a few times over and over again. We took it all away. They actually agreed to give it all away, but we promised to protect them. So we took all their nukes. We destroyed their they possess supersonic bombers. We took away those supersonic bombers. We destroyed the nuclear weapons. And what happens now? We promised to protect them, but we failed. We failed to abide by the agreement. We failed to secure their borders, to protect them. And now Ukrainians are begging us for a few tanks, for a few aircrafts, for a few F-16s. And look, the big guy, the Biden, for the past, 18 months, he's promising, but he's not delivering. And Ukrainians, some of them are really angry at the United States. They absolutely, they are thankful for everything that the United States has done so far. But there is a mutual understanding that the United States is the biggest military in the world, the biggest power, the biggest military power in the world, and the United States could do much more. And it's the United States is not willing to do so. And I hate to feel that I would say the angerness in the eyes of the Ukrainians. And I try to explain to them that this is Biden, this is the DNC, Democratic National Committee. This is the Jake Sullivan, but this is not the United States. This is those guys who are failing the United States, who are failing the borders, who are failing the inflation, who are failing the gas prices, and at the same time, what are they doing again? They are failing the Ukrainians. They're failing Ukraine. They're failing the entire continent of Europe. Putin, he won't stop. He won't stop till we stop him. He is a bully. He needs to receive a punch in his face, and we are able to do so. We are able just to supply Ukraine with whatever they need to win, as Mitch McConnell said previously before the war began. Just give Ukraine everything they need. This is it. And Ukrainians are not asking us to go and fight for them. They're asking us for tools to win. And they are able to achieve. They're able to achieve the win. But the Biden has been reluctant. He doesn't want them to win. I believe that Biden is more willing to see Russia win than Ukraine. And I want to be sorry for saying that. I want to be wrong, but this is how it all. At least this is the picture I see that the White House has been painting for the past 18 months. The win of Russia. I don't see how they are helping Ukrainians to win. Unfortunately, this is the situation right now. This is the current situation. This is what they've been doing. So I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm angry. It's just killing me from the inside, because I know what's going on, and I know the United States has a lot to offer, has a lot to provide, and has been reluctant into doing so. I don't know what else to say. I just hope that the administration is going to see a change soon in 2024, because I don't see how the Ukraine can secure their borders, how the Ukraine can return the occupied territories, how Ukraine can reintegrate the Crimea into becoming Ukraine again with the current administration in the White House. I just don't see it. This is just horrible, horrible. And I felt that it's going to happen. I felt if the big guy, the Biden's going to be elected, I felt that the war is going to begin. And I truthfully believe, this is my belief, that if in 2016 we would have the Clinton administration, if Hillary Clinton had won in 2016, I believe they would have the same war in 2017 or 18. I believe the problem is the party and some people in charge. I don't believe that the problem is Biden itself. I believe that's a much bigger rooting problem than that, and we should stop it. We should help Ukraine. And I feel really sorry for some Republicans saying that we don't have to help Ukraine. There's a corrupted country, this and that. No.
Yes, exactly. I just put on the screen. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just put on the screen because you're talking about this topic that in 1994, Ukraine's nukes was destroyed. In the Ukraine was assured protection, and Budapest Memorandum was signed. And we see even China co-signed it later, and it was three countries: Great Britain, United States, and Russia. Ukraine had 176 missiles and 1,200 nuclear warheads, nuclear launchers 2,500, and these missiles could reach United States in 20 minutes. Besides that, 19 of supersonic bombers, 25 U-95 strategic bombers. Now Russia actually using these bombers and using all this equipment to bomb Ukraine. And United States, Bill Clinton signed this agreement. Now Bill Clinton saying that, oh, I'm sorry, I feel sorry that I pushed Ukraine so hard to give up all these nuclear weapons, the third world biggest arsenal. But he said sorry, and no reaction from Biden administration. Instead of giving necessary equipment, as we mentioned, in the storage, they have plenty of it to support Ukraine. They're asking billions, and Ukraine got in just 30% of it. 30%. And Biden administration not stopping asking for these billions. Ukraine is not getting it. And we have research. We have we're gonna place the documents under in description of the video. Ukraine is getting about 30% of these billions delivered in best case scenario. According to Congresswoman Victoria Spartz, in the beginning it was only 10%. So this is the situation, and to stop corruption, to stop all this killing and everything, we have the U.S. law, Lend-Lease for Ukraine, and it was signed May 9 last year, 2022, and President actually of United States supposed to, in 60 days after date of enactment, after he signed this law, President should establish all procedure for delivery of any defense article loan list for government of Ukraine. And we see this is public law. On May 9 last year, it was signed. It was signed to protect civilians in Ukraine, actually. We can read that the intention of this law was to prevent the war, actually, because it was initiated even the war before the war started. But anyway, this law is not used, and on September 30, it will be the last day it will be valid. And I don't know how we can approach more Americans, more people who care about American words and promises, and help us. We're gonna have another rally on September 3rd at 1 p.m. in front of White House. So we're inviting everyone who can come and join us to support Ukraine, to stop big guy further corruption, and unlock Lend-Lease. We don't have any other option, actually. What's your comments?
Yeah, exactly. And I would just add that thing this way. President Clinton signed Budapest Memorandum, promised to protect Ukraine, took away Ukraine's nukes, and Ukraine actually gave away the nukes. They abide by their part of the agreement. The United States, at the end, did not. President Obama, he gave away Crimea. He didn't fight for Ukraine. He was reluctant to providing anything to Ukraine. We recall Senator. We recall Senator. McCain. He was fighting President Obama to get Ukraine weapons they need. He said that President Obama has blood of Ukrainians in his hands because he was reluctant into helping Ukraine in 2014 when Crimea was occupied and annexed. Now we have President Biden. President Biden used to be the vice president. He used to be the front man of the U.S. Policy in Ukraine. Now we have President Biden, and the invasion occurred. Ukraine has been invaded. The infrastructure devastated, the economy destroyed. Millions and millions of people had to immigrate to Europe, had to apply for asylums, had to be displaced because of the policy of President Biden. We have millions of people losing homes. We have hundreds of thousands of people losing lives. Just recently, New York Times reported that up to 500,000 people lost their lives because of the war in Ukraine, including over 200,000, as they claim, Ukrainians. Many lost their limbs, many lost their legs, their hands. Many people will be disabled for the rest of their lives. Many kids lost their limbs because of the war, because of the shelling, because of the bombing and explosions, constant explosions. And President Biden has been reluctant, even proclaiming Russia as the state sponsor of terrorism. Russia has been targeting civilian population, deliberately targeting civilian population. And President Biden has been reluctant, even calling Russia state sponsor of terrorism. What else to add there? And there is a law, Lend-Lease law, sending Ukraine sufficient weapons they need to win. The weapons that were manufactured and produced and paid for and stored in California and many other places around the United States. This is the previous generation weapons. Some of them are new weapons. We can send them to Ukraine, not needing to send money, not having the need to produce anything. And Ukrainians are happy to use it now, but we need to act now. We need to send the F-16s, the ATMs missiles. We need to send them the cluster munitions for the HIMARS. Biden just said that he is willing to send Ukrainians the shells for the cluster shells, but he's not willing to send the HIMARS missiles with the cluster munitions. He's been playing games all along. Why? Because he has his idea of Ukraine not losing, but not winning, meaning losing the territory occupied by Russians. He's not willing to help Ukraine to regain their territory, to secure their win. What happens if they sign the peace agreement and Ukraine gave away, let's say they're not willing to, but let's say the Biden forces them to give away their land to Russia. Putin won't stop. He will wait. He will wait till he produces enough weapons to attack Ukraine again. And this time, most possibly, he will attack some other European countries, such as Lithuania, Estonia, or Latvia, perhaps even Poland, because he sees that the United States has no balls to face Russia. And this is a mistake, because this is not the United States. This is Biden and Biden clan and Jake Sullivan and the rest of the corrupted crooks, which are currently at the office. I might be wrong. Maybe they're not so corrupted, but from whatever I'd seen going on currently in Congress, but there are sufficient proofs that the Biden family had received millions of dollars from questionable people, from questionable folks. And people in Congress are furious that the FBI has not acting upon receiving these messages. We know that perhaps President Biden has been compromised. And this is not some conspiracy. This is the truth.
Yes, exactly. I just wanted to...
that the FBI possesses. And they're protecting the big guy.
I would like to... I'm sorry to interrupt you. I would like to just show the report from Center for Security Policy by Andrei Ilarionov. July 18, 2023, we know that actually Ukraine was got assistance that was delivered to territory of Ukraine, actually 17 billion security assistance. Where are those 200 billions people saying 100 billions? Where are those billions? We're gonna say leave the link about all this detailed report, and you can read and understand that this is a big, I don't know, alleged laundry scheme. Then Ukraine is getting billions and Ukraine is getting nothing. So that's why we're asking for Lend-Lease, because it's already made weapons in storage. And that's why we're asking you to join us on next our rally, September 3rd, to support Lend-Lease, to stop alleged possible corruption. We have no other explanation. Why wouldn't you use already made weapons and asking billions again and again and again? There is no other reason, as I would say this is corruption, alleged, case, another case. And it's happening in front of whole world and the whole United States, who is suffering from inflation, economical crisis and everything, and nobody paying attention to this. So we are asking you, please join us and support Ukraine without spending. We don't need to spend these billions where they go somewhere we don't know where, and it's not helping. What would you add to the end, please?
The key point is, if you heard that Ukraine allegedly, and I'm using the word allegedly, had received $113 billion so far from the United States, it's wrong. It's so wrong, I can't even explain. There is a study done by a Center for Security Policy, which proves that the Ukraine actually received, in the matter of military assistance, just $18 billion. So far, as of August the 20th, $18 billion received from $49 billion towards military assistance to Ukraine committed by the United States. So there is a discrepancy in these numbers, and someone has to explain what is going on. What the heck is going on? Ukraine received just 30% of the military assistance we promised them to that they will receive. The Congress actually appropriated 49 billions, and the Biden delivered just 18 billions. So there's a question: what is going on? Now we have different programs the Biden administration put in place, which allegedly should supply Ukraine with the weapons they need. But these programs take years to accomplish. This is really slow process. The only way to make sure that Ukraine receives everything they need and on time is the law which was passed and signed by President Biden himself last year on May the 9th, Lend-Lease law. And President Biden has been reluctant into using this law. Why? Because he doesn't wanna have possibly he doesn't want to lose the opportunity to control how Ukraine succeeds, how Ukraine wins. He wants to control every single move the Ukrainians are doing currently on the battlefield. They are not receiving enough weapons. This is why you heard about the really slow movement on the front line. Why? Because Ukraine did not receive the weapons the United States promised them. More so, Ukraine has been begging for the fighter jets, the F-16s. We heard talks since the last year that allegedly President Biden has been reviewing this possibility. Now we heard that allegedly the Ukrainian pilots began the training. It's going to take months for them to train, and they've been evading because President Biden has been reluctant into approving the training process. Now, the United States does not provide the F-16s. We have different countries, such as the Netherlands, and if I'm not wrong, the Denmark, which will provide, and even Australia, which will provide their F-16s. The United States did not even commit to provide F-16s to Ukraine, but they need to approve the transfer of those fighter jets in order for Ukraine to receive them, approved to those countries that own them. Why? Because this is the process. The United States had manufactured the F-16s they possess. So, and President Biden has been reluctant into providing Ukraine with the approvals for the allies to ship their military supply, to ship their weapons to Ukraine. So what else there to add? There is a Lend-Lease. President Biden wants to bury the Lend-Lease. He wants everyone to forget about this law, and he wants to play his games. Well, Ukraine doesn't need additional money. Ukraine needs sufficient weapons now. So if you are against the corruption, if you are against what President Biden has been doing to the United States, trust me, he has been doing the same thing to Ukraine, even worse. Why? Because Ukrainians has been paying this price with their blood and their lives. We ought to help them to win. This is not the United States I love. This is not because I love this country truthfully and from the bottom of my heart. But this is not the United States. I know. This is the United States. This is Biden's America. This is not Republican America. This is not the Reagan America. This is not McCain's America. So we should do everything in our power to help Ukraine, to force President Biden to initiate the Lend-Lease law now. You can join our protest, as Mr. Bogdan said, on the September the 3rd, or you can send a tweet to POTUS reminding him about the Lend-Lease, the law that he's failing to abide, the law that he's failing to initiate. We need to unlock the list now. Thank you, everyone, for watching this.
Thank you so much, Kindred. I'm sorry.
God bless America. God save Ukraine. Slava Ukraine.
Thank you so much, Yuri. And just want I would like to remind you, you watch Diaspora UA channel. We're gonna have another rally on September 3rd in front of White House at 1 p.m. Please join us to support Ukraine and support United States. We can stop all this corruption, inflation, and all these problems if we send Ukraine just already made weapons that in storage in United States. Thank you so much. Дякуємо всім нашим глядачам та нашим слухачам.